Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Pratam Swakatha Krishna Purnya Shravan Kirtana Hridantasto hi abhadrani vidunati suratsatam Nashtaprayashu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya Bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 20th chapter, verse number 27. अथा भजे अत्वाखिल पुरुषोत्तम गुणालयं पद्मकरेव लालस अप्याव योक योरेकपति स्प्रधो कलि न स्यात् कृत वच्च रणे कथा नयो. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now I wish to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to serve just like the goddess of fortune who carries a lotus flower in her hand. Because His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. I am afraid that goddess of fortune and I wish quarrel because both of us would be attentively engaged in the same service. Purport. The Lord is here addresses as a Akhil Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord of the entire creation. Purusha means the enjoyer, Uttama means the best. There are different kind of Purushas or enjoyers within the universe. Generally, they can be divided into the three classes: those who are conditioned, those who are liberated, and those who are eternal. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is called the Supreme Eternal of all eternals, Nityo Nityana. Both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entities are eternal. The Supreme Eternals are the Vishnu Tattva or Lord Vishnu and his expansions. So Nitya refers to the personality of Godhead, beginning from Krishna to Mahavishnu, Narayan, and other expansion of Lord Krishna. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Ramadi Murteshu, there are millions and trillions of expansion of Lord Vishnu as Rama, Narsimha, Varaha, and other incarnations. All of them are called eternals. The word mukta refers to the living entities who never come within this material world. The Baddhas are those who living entities who are almost eternally living in this material world. The Baddhas are struggling very hard within this material world to become free from the threefold miseries of the material nature and to enjoy the life, whereas the Muktas are already liberated. They never come into this material world. Lord Vishnu is the master of this material world, and there is no question of his being controlled by the material nature. Consequently, Lord Vishnu is addressed here as Purushottama, the best of all living entities, namely the Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattvas. Sorry, uh, hold on, I guess. Yeah. It is the great offenses, therefore, to compare the Lord Vishnu and Jiva Tattva or consider them to be on equal level. The Mayavadi philosophers equate the Jivas and the Supreme Lord and consider them to be one. But that is the greatest offense to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Here in this material world, we have practical experience that a superior person is worshipped by an inferior one. Similarly, Purushottama, the greatest, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna or Lord Vishnu, is always worshipped by other. Prithu Maharaj therefore decided to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu. Prithu Maharaj is considered to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, but he is called as a Sakyavish incarnation. Another significant word in this verse is Gunalayam, which refers to the Vishnu as a reservoir of all transcendental qualities. The Mayavadi philosophers, in accordance with the impersonalistic view, take the absolute truth to be nirgun, without quality. But actually, the Lord is reservoir of all good qualities. One of the most important quality of Lord in his inclination to his devotee, for which he is called as a Bhakta Vatsal. The devotees are always very much inclined to render the service unto the lotus feet of the Lord. And the Lord is also very much inclined to accept the loving service from his devotees. In that exchange of service, there are many transcendental transactions, which are called transcendental qualitative activities. Some of the transcendental qualities of the Lord are that He is omniscient, omnipresent, all pervasive, all powerful, the cause of all causes, the absolute truth, the reservoir of all pleasure, and the reservoir of all knowledge, all auspiciousness, and so on. Prithu Maharaj desired to serve the Lord with the goddess of fortune, but this desire does not mean that he was situated on the platform of Madhurya Ras. The goddess of fortune is engaged in the service of the Lord in the Ras of Madhurya, conjugal love. Although her position is on the chest of the Lord, the goddess of fortune, in her position as a devotee, take pleasure in serving the lotus feet of Lord. Prithu Maharaj was thinking only of the lotus feet of the Lord because he is on the platform of Dasya Rasa, servitorship of the Lord. From the next verse, we learn that Prithu Maharaj was thinking of the goddess of fortune as the universal mother, Jagat Mata. Consequently, there was no question of his competing with her on the platform of Madhuri Ras. Nonetheless, he feared that she might take offense at his engaging in the service of the Lord. This suggests that in the absolute world, there is sometimes competition between servitor and the service of the Lord. But such competition is without malice. In the Vaikuntha world, if a devotee excel in the service of the Lord, others do not become envious of his excellent service, but rather aspire to come to the platform of that service. ओमज्ञानतिम्रान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं प्रकटं येन ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So thank you all for giving me this opportunity to serve and share the note uh, from one of the lecture. One Keshava Prabhu from Melbourne Temple, he was speaking on this verse. So please forgive me if I added my own interpretation while making these notes. So, as we know, like Krishna is the only who can say that everything is coming from me. And it is supported by the verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarva pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhav samandita. He is declaring that he is the source of all spiritual and material, both words. And everything is basically emanating from him only. And any wise person who know this basically worship Lord Krishna. And anyone who is hearing this verse, after hearing this verse, if one is envious, then he will not worship. Even he will be away from Krishna. So sometime we can see like people take drugs and other intoxication, and such people think that they have understood the whole world, and even out of this influence they start thinking that they are God. But Srila Prabhupada, he clearly says that if such person or not a person who's like influenced, but other person, the Mayavadis, they cannot even control uh, their blinking of eyes. They cannot control their nature's call. So we can understand that our position or Jiva's position is very limited and God's position is very unlimited. So when it talks about Krishna, he is the fountainhead of everything. Krishna is the source of everything. And if we see our ability, we are limited. But the Jiva out of the illusion thinks that we are unlimited. So no, that is false. Only Krishna is source of everything. That is the Krishna Sambandh. When we understand that Krishna is the source of everything, everything is emanating from him, then it is called Krishna Sambandh. And if we understand that, we uh, we understand things correctly. But if we don't understand, then we are not understanding it correctly. That everything is coming from Krishna. So it means a relationship. How does everything relates? This is important to understand. What is our relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead? So we are simply meant to serve Krishna. This is our relationship. And then that leads to the second part of Vedic subject matter. So first part is Sambandh. The second part is Abhiday. So what does it mean by the Abhiday? How we can define it? So generally we say like Abhiday means the process. So if you want to go, let's say, from one city to another city, so there is a process. There are multiple ways to go from one city to another. And this process is called transportation in this example. So how would you transport yourself? How you can do it? We have many options. Either we can walk or hop or skip, or we can take some bullock cart, or we can ride a bike, car, or we can take a flight, train, anything, and we can go there. So that's a process. That means you can get from one point to another point. So that is called Aviday. Then how to connect? How to connect with Krishna then if we talk about we and Krishna as a one point and another point. So we are the soul and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the Lord. So how do we can connect with him? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the bhakti is the only process. The bhakti is the only process how we can get Krishna, how we can connect to Krishna. So our process is called Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means the connection. But we must be very clear on the goal. If you are not clear on the goal in the yoga process, then what's the point? So there is an entire process, this sambandh. There is abhiday, and then finally comes the prayojan. We have to understand what is the goal, prayojan, and it has to be very clear in our mind. And sometimes it is not clear enough in our mind uh, that our goal is Krishna Prem, and we are stuck in some other stuff, puja, pratishtha, and labh, some benefit, some someone praises us, someone, uh, uh, oh Prabhu, oh Mataji, you are very well, you are expert in this, that, and sometimes we feel proud. But this is not prem, this is not prayojan. Prayojan is Krishna prem, developing love for Krishna. That is the goal. That is the prayojan. Prayojan means service to Krishna. Lord Chaitanya says that, right, even like if you handle me roughly by your embrace or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me, still you are my Lord. So it is the service. It doesn't matter what obstacles comes in our life. At some extent, the service to Krishna should not be impacted because the obstacles are temporary, but our goal is permanent. So by our love, we can attain Krishna. So we have to cultivate that love. And if we work hard, if we work hard means this, if we do our service nicely, then definitely we can attain that, our prayojan. But if we are not ready, we do not take full advantage of the facility Krishna provided us. If we think carefully, getting human body is very difficult in itself. After getting human body, we can see so many, lots of people, great population. After getting human body, getting a bona fide organization like ISKCON or getting a bona fide guru, it's even more rare thing. It's the rarest thing. What we are getting, the shelter of some bona fide guru, Srila Prabhupada, the association of all elevated devotees, all favorable things where we can perform devotional activities. What else we can expect from Krishna? This is causeless mercy of him. First of all, we might not deserve the human body itself. On top of that, how much he gave us. Right? We can think, and uh, in the appreciation, at least we should encourage ourselves to do nicely whatever we are doing. So one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Gopi Parandhan Prabhu, who basically finished the rest of the Bhagavatam on the behalf of Srila Prabhupada, you know, he was speaking in one of the lecture. Uh, yeah. So one time he was giving class and he was explaining this point that the soul has eternal relationship with Krishna, and this relationship is just between you and Krishna. What does it mean? That means that particular relationship is unique and not between anyone else. So that he said, the Prabhu said that everyone of us has something that we can give to Krishna that no one else can give. That's very interesting thing, right? Sometimes like we feel ourselves very insignificant. Oh, will Krishna really likes me? Or whatever little I am doing, will Krishna, will he be happy? Or will he accept this? We can think. But the way Gopi Pranadhan Prabhu is explaining here that everyone has something different to give Krishna that some no one can else give. So that is statement is very inspiring. Further, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned about envy. There is no envy in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, we don't become envious of other devotee. Why? Because when we see the other devotee doing better than us, then we we basically request that devotee, please teach me how can also serve the Krishna in that way and make him happy. So that is the spiritual atmosphere, completely different than as down here in this material world. In this material world, we see someone does better than us, then we might think that okay, uh, I'm not, he's not good enough, and instead I can do better than that, rather than having the impetus to improve uh, ourselves. So that is a problem basically. That is a big, huge difference between here and this spiritual world. And we can see like even after coming into devotional service, sometimes devotee feel envious to other devotees. But if we take this process seriously, gradually that uh, tinge of enviousness can go away. I would like to conclude here. Thank you so much. Please forgive me. Hare Krishna.